Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm your girl Shanice, and if you are new here, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button and also turning your alarm on so that you get notified anytime I post new videos and upload new content. If you are returning, it's always great to see you. Make sure you're remembering to like and share the videos. Now, I'm sure you can already hear my voice. Every single time I get the opportunity to participate in the healing streams, life healing services, it really takes my breath away for so many reasons. I'm so deeply touched by all that I have the opportunity to witness. And once again, I always get just immersed in the amount of love and mercy and grace that the Lord has lavished upon my life. Especially when I hear the stories, hear the testimonies, hear the miracles. One thing that sticks with me is that, for that person, this is the quality of their lives. This is what they've experienced for years at a time, most of the time. There's people all around the world living in just horrible illnesses and diseases, living with chronic pain of all kinds, inflammation, cancers, all manner of diseases, afflicted in every which way, and if that doesn't touch you deep inside, if you don't feel something when you hear these stories, then I don't know what to tell you. But for me, this is the 9th edition of the Healing Streams Life Healing Services with the man of God, Pastor Oyakhilome, and every single time, without fail, I'm brought to tears, actual tears, just witnessing, just participating, and not to talk about the testimonies of the people around me, that were blessed by the service with the man of God. What struck me, and I wrote it down, that I thought this was really, it's become sort of a victory parade of faith, what faith can do, true faith, right? Because there's a difference between believing, between hope, and between faith. And, I wrote down, true faith always prevails, people always talk about stubborn faith, but I think faith by virtue is stubborn. It always prevails. It's really about how much you can believe and the limits that you put on God concerning yourself, concerning your health, concerning your finances, whatever it is. It takes me back. I imagine the woman with the issue of blood. We reference it all the time. She just had to touch Jesus, and the moment she touched him, she received her miracle. But I think to myself, what if that woman had just said to herself, if I could only just see him with my physical eyes, if I could just see him, I'll receive my healing. Do you really think she wouldn't have been healed? Of course she would have. It's about how far can your faith take you? How far can your faith stretch you? Right? How much imagination do you have when it comes to receiving from God, to receiving miracles, to receiving testimonies? If your faith is one where you have to be touched, that's fine. But how much more would it be if your faith was one where all you had to do was see? Just see him, just have that encounter, that moment. Something that I was talking about that touches me so much from these services is the fact that a lot of the times, the people that are testifying, they may not have even been, in Nigeria. The man of God may not have even laid hands. They may not have even been linked up, on camera virtually. They normally had been watching the service and then hear the man of God say, put your hand where you need healing. That's majority of the times. And of course, the people who the man of God ministers to physically and virtually, of course, they have their miracles too. But the ones that touch me are those that they just were watching and they acted on those instructions. They didn't have to be there physically. See, the power of God is right there wherever you are. There are people who just watched the rebroadcast and were healed. A rebroadcast, they weren't even watching live. So if that doesn't show you that it's all about you and your faith and the limitations that you place on how you can receive your healing, I don't know what else to say. You know, I was so touched. this time around. The Pastor Chris, he said that we should be living a life of glory. We see in Colossians that, there's a mystery that's been revealed, and that's Christ in us, the hope of glory. Our lives should reflect that. Our life should reflect that. And one thing that I talk about is that the people who have the testimonies, I'm noticing the trend. It's always there's always this darkness, this immense darkness that they experience, trials and tribulations of heightened levels, and then the word comes in and it brings light. There's something, the lady, I think she was from Bulgaria, what very impassioned testimony, and you could just tell that she lived this. I've heard that people want to say that these stories are fake, or people are being paid to say these things. How much are you paying these people to say it all around the world? Really, there's nothing else we can do with our money? No. You can hear the truth of her testimony, very detailed testimony, very impassioned testimony. And she said, I want to quote it correctly. She said, "You have already won just by participating in the healing streams, life healing services. You've already won. And that when you come, the only thing that you lose is your disease, your affliction, your illness, your pain. That's the only thing you can lose. Because every time the word of God greets you, it elevates you. It brings you up, it brings you higher. And that's what this service has done, And for all of you who are watching, maybe you're believing in God for a healing. Who's to say that this is not your time? There's something that Pastor Diola, the director of the healing school, she was always saying that this is your moment. Every moment, let it be your moment. Who's to say that me just talking about the live healing streams can't bring a testimony for you? What's stopping you from believing in God and His ability to heal you? What's stopping you? God doesn't love any of these people more than He loves you. He wants to prosper you. He wants you to live in divine health. And it can be yours today. I want to tell you, if you don't already have these, the Healing to the Nations magazine, go and get it. There's something that they said a lot of the times in their testimonies, and that's that, some of them, it wasn't an instantaneous thing. They had to go home and they had to make the faith proclamations, the confessions upon their lives regarding their situation. And I've made a video at the very back of this magazine. There are healing confessions, faith proclamations that you can use to declare upon your body. And I'm gonna link that up in the comment section so that you can also say those words and speak the word upon your life. Thank you so much, as always, for being a part of this. I'm so blessed by all of you, and I hope that you shared the healing streams, life healing services with someone. And I know that if you did, that they were blessed by it, because this was a glorious, glorious time. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. God bless you. Bye.